Hi. So today I want to start looking at the webcam that's built into the HoloLens and how we can use that in our apps. So you can see there at the front we've got the color webcam. Now to access that, it's raw information, so just whatever the camera sees. Unity exposes that through its standard webcam texture class. So I'd read that and I just want to make sure that that actually works. So let's try and grab an image. So I'll hide that. We'll come to our Holo World application. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a game object for capturing the webcam. So camera. Now I've got my Holo tap script. So we're going to drag that on there. So this script will this event will just fire whenever we do a air tap or say select or use the clicker. And I'll just create a new script now. And I'll just call this Holo camera. And we'll use this script to talk to the webcam and display that image somewhere. So the first thing we need to do, we'll get rid of this update call. We don't want that. So the first thing we'll do is just make sure that we actually get called. So I'm just going to have a public void take photo debug.log take photo. If I can type. Bit of a struggle there. Oh, still struggling. Oh. There we go. Okay, so come in here, come to our camera, we'll add our Holo camera script on here. We'll add our Holo camera script on there. We will set this guy to call Holo camera take photo. Okay, so let's press play. And if we click, we should see that log message. There we go. Okay, great. Okay, so we're going to capture the image. Let's do that now. Let's go back into our script. Let's use the webcam. Webcam texture. Webcam. Now, we can just use the default settings in the webcam. So we can just go webcam equals new webcam texture, webcam.play. Now that will open up our webcam on our device. The HoloLens only has that front-facing camera exposed, so it'll pick that. It'll pick some resolution. Let's have a look and see what we get. Device name, oops. And we can also check what resolution we're getting back through webcam.width and webcam.height. Okay, so in the emulator, in the editor, when we hit play, we see we get the integrated webcam on my computer and it's 1280 by 720. Okay, so if we're going to capture this photo, let's just get it into a texture 2D. So let's just change this function a little bit to return us a texture 2D. And we'll go and we can get the new image from the webcam, but first we just need like a texture 2D to write it into. So we'll go texture 2D, and we'll set it to the size that the webcam is. Okay. And so now we've got our texture. Let's write in the pixels that we get from the webcam. So we'll go webcam image set pixels to the actual webcam get pixels. And we need to call webcam image.apply to save those changes actually into our texture. And we'll just return that webcam image. Okay, cool. So that will actually get us an image and we'll have it in a texture 2D. So maybe we'll just make a different function for us to call into on our event. Let's go public void take photo. Let's say we're going to a preview window. So go preview, and we will put that directly into the renderer of the preview. So let's create a renderer then. So what we can do is we'll come back to Unity Scene Jet. Let's create a quad, which will be our renderer for this. So we'll create a quad. We'll scale it down maybe to quarter size. And might just move it down a little bit below the jet. Down and back a bit, and maybe we'll just rotate it a little bit towards us. Now we can see we're seeing the back of it, so we'll just turn it around 180. Whoops. Make that positive. Okay, cool. And we've got shadows there, so we might just turn shadows off in our camera. Shadows, no shadows, just for now. Okay, cool. So what's going to happen is we should see our, we're going to get our photo to appear on that quad through its default renderer. Okay, it's got a mesh renderer there, and it's got a default material, so we'll just set the texture on that material. So let's do that. So all we need to do is actually grab that image from the function above. So texture 2D image equals take photo. Cool. So now we've got our image, and we'll just apply it to the preview. So we'll go preview.material.main texture is now going to be image. Now, if our quad was actually set to the correct aspect ratio, it'll be all set right now. We wouldn't have to do anything else. But our quad's a square, and we have no idea what the webcam's going to be on the device. It's from documentation, it's like 16:9 format, but of course that could change over time. It could change depending on what resolution we get out of the webcam texture. So I'm just going to set the aspect ratio of our quad to match the image, and I'll do that by getting the ratio from aspect ratio from the image that we just recorded. So we'll go, let's make sure it's a float.image.width, and divide that by float image.height. So now we have the aspect ratio of our image, and we'll apply that to the transform of the preview object. So let's just get the current scale. The reason I'm getting the current scale is like, I think let's keep the height the same, and we'll just make the width grow out to fit whatever the aspect ratio is. So we're just going to change the scale width then, and that will be scale Y times the aspect ratio. And then we just write that back. So preview.transform.local scale equals scale. So now our quad will change. Update the aspect ratio to match the camera. Cool, so that looks pretty cool. So we switch back to Unity. If we hit play, my webcam, oh, well, sorry, I forgot one step. Obviously we need to tell, tell our script to use that quad there. So instead of take photo, we're going to go take photo to preview now. And you can see it's going to take a renderer as a parameter. So we can just drag our quad on there, hit save and hit play. And if I click, it's going to get the webcam. My webcam is currently on my laptop with the lid facing down. So that's not an unexpected image to get of my laptop. So let's build that on the HoloLens and check it out. Before we do that, one step to do first is to add in our scene. And we're going to go to our capabilities and make sure that we enable webcam. Capabilities, webcam's right there at the bottom. Save that. Okay, so now we'll build. Okay, so let's just clean that solution from before and let's run it on our HoloLens. Okay, and here we are in the app. We can see our jet fighter and a big white texture below it with our Hello World writing above it. It's blank because we haven't recorded any video yet. So let's try and take a photo. We're going to air tap. And there it is. There's the photo. It's come in and we can see from the logs that it was recorded at 1280 by 720. And so it has resized to that aspect ratio. Let's take another one over here. That's wonderful. That's working. One little gotcha is if you start recording a video like this and then you run the app, it'll actually abort the video as soon as you try and take over that webcam in Unity. But if you let the app start up and access the webcam and then start using HoloLens's recording feature, you can still record video like I've just done there. So that is a raw webcam feed coming from the HoloLens into Unity, and we've got full access to the pixels. Okay, so that's pretty cool. We can update our photo, except we have to keep looking back at the jet to see what photo we've taken. So instead, let's do what a few other demos are doing and drop the photo directly in front of the user. So in this case, let's create a game object that's going to be our prefab that we'll instantiate. So we'll just say create empty, and we may as well call that a photo frame. We'll just reset that to 0 just so that's nice and clean. And we'll drag that into our project. So now it's a prefab. So we have our quad under our jet. So we're just going to use the quad again. So we'll just drag it from our jet and stick it on the photo frame. Because we're going to set the photo frame to be in exactly the right position and rotation, we just want our quad to be 0, 0, 0. So it's directly in front of us. And we don't want any rotation on it at all. We've just lost our size of it because we moved it. So it was 0.25, 0.25, and 0.25. Cool. Okay. Just find that in the scene. So there it is there. Excellent. And we'll apply that so it all gets saved. And we can delete that from the scene now. Delete. Okay, so what we need to do is modify our Holo camera script to instantiate that prefab instead of just writing straight to the renderer. So let's create a new function. Let's go public void and let's call it instantiate photo, and it will take a prefab, which is a game object, for our photo frame. So let's just put a debug in so we know that it's working. We'll just double check that quickly. So now we're going to call Holo Camera, and hasn't seen it yet. We'll just click again. Sometimes it can take a moment for Unity to detect we've written that script. There it is, instantiate photo. And so we want to instantiate the photo frame prefab. So we'll just hit play and we click and we got the debug. So that's all wired up. That's perfect. Okay, so what do we want to do? We want to instantiate it. So let's just put a game object. Game object will be GameObject.instantiate. So we want to instantiate the prefab, and then we want to put it at some position and some rotation, whatever that will be. We'll work out in a second. And then we basically want to set the photo. So we've got one child under there right now. Their photo frame. It's got one child, so we can just hard code it to look at the first child, but you'd probably have a script on that game object really to set that up. So we'll go go.transform. Transform, and we can go get child to get the first child, which we know is our quad, and we can get the component of the renderer. And the cool thing is we can just pass that renderer now to take photo to preview. Okay, cool. So now we just need to work out this position and rotation. So for the position, we want it to be in front of the user. So that can be found through camera.main.transform. And we want it to be in front of the user, so we can use the position. And then what we're going to do is we're going to move down that transforms forward. So we'll go camera again .main.transform.forward. How far down? Let's go 0.5 meters, 0.5. Okay, and then with the rotation, pretty much the same thing. We want the prefab to be rotated the same way as the user is currently rotated in the world. So we'll just go dot rotation. Okay, that looks about right. So we're going to instantiate our game object in front of the user at 0.5 meters and use the same rotation that the user is looking at, so that way it'll look straight onto the user, and we draw our photo into the renderer. So let's go into Unity and hit play. So looking straight on, I'll click. Cool, and there's our photo. Again, my webcam is on my laptop with the lid closed, so that's expected, that image. Let's go up here to the camera and turn the camera around a bit. Look this way, and we'll look up a bit too. Click. Perfect. That's in front of us. Let's tilt our head to the side and go around over here. Click. Perfect, that's dead in front of us as well. If we turn right around the other side, click, we get it as well. Okay, so that looks really good. So let's put that into the HoloLens. So I'll save my scene. And we will Okay, so we've launched our app. We've got our jet, and let's see if we can take a photo. And there's our photo sitting there. Pretty close actually to the exact real world size. Take one over here. And now we have another photo there as well. I can get up and I can see my photos are floating around. I can do one up here. There's my lamp. There's my computer. And we can even go one here. There we go. So now we've got photos in the exact position I took them.